Mic check.
When did you move from Philly?
Last summer. I think it was the end of June. So about coming up on a year. And yeah, we got kind of lucky because I was really worried because I got 3 kids. Like they're older, so it made things easier. My girls are out of school. They're in college now. But my son, we had to be really conscious of where we were going just because he was going into high school. And we kind of lucked out because the place that we really wanted was in a nice neighborhood, and it was like the school district was good, and we ended up getting that house. And my son's been like, he's had such a nice experience at this school. It's like, it looks like a friggin' community college. It's so nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he really, like right out of the gate, like just started thriving. So that kind of made things really easy. And yeah, my wife's got everything taken care of at home. So it was like as smooth of a transition as we could have possibly had.
Really?
And coming from Philly was like, it was such a nice change of pace. Like, I didn't give a fuck that it's 110 degrees. Like, I'll take that over just all the wild shit we had to deal with back in Philly.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of like the extent of like the things to complain about here.
What kind of shit did you have to deal with in Philly?
Oh, it was nuts. Like, you remember like, this wasn't that bad, but it was like the prime indicator that we had to get out. Like, do you remember like a viral video from like a little over a year ago where a lady shit on another lady's car? Justin, do you remember that? Dude, it was like a road rage dispute, and a lady got out, and like you think it's escalating towards like a shooting or something, but she gets out and she just takes a shit on the lady behind her's car. Like, I don't know what brought it about, but like they're arguing, and she gets out, she just pulls down her pants, and she just unloads on this lady's car.
What the fuck?
Dude, it was nuts. And but like that was 100 feet from our house.
No way.
Yeah, and it was like I was in Chicago at the time, and my wife's, I just called her to ask how things were going. She's like, a lady shit on another lady's car. I'm like, what are you talking about? And sure enough, like a kid that was like who was like on the wrestling team for the high school in our school district, like he filmed it. He just so happened to be at the stop sign that was perpendicular to that street, and he filmed it, and it was like, it's insanity because everything worked out in her favor. Like, she got out and she just unloaded on the hood of this lady's car.
Unloaded all of her ammunition.
And it was like, it was like the perfect consistency of shit to like have in that situation. It's not like a log.
Like a perfect poop emoji.
Dude, Alex, it was nuts. It was like, it was what you'd want.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to do something like that. And she unloaded on a car, and then she just pulled her pants back up. She got back in her car and drove off. And then, like, that video.
Shit and run.
It really was, yeah. And she took off, and, like, she eventually faced, like, I don't know, like, some kind of, like, misdemeanor for it. And, but, I mean, it just benefited her because she had an OnlyFans, so I'm sure that took off. So it was, like, kind of an ideal situation for her, but also it was, like, kind of funny, but also that was, like, we had made up our mind that we were like leaving at that point.
Yeah.
But that was just like, all right, I'm so glad we're moving out of this neighborhood. But aside from that, like we lived off of a major highway. We lived off of 95. And for some reason, there would be a lot of police chases that came through our neighborhood because people would just be coming from Philly or from Delaware in the opposite direction. And for some reason, they would always get off at our exit, which was Prospect Park. And we'd have police chases through the neighborhood. We started to have shootings in the neighborhood, whereas when we moved in like 2013, we didn't have that. But it seemed like more and more there was a shooting at the end of our street. A kid from our high school, he got shot in the face. It was really fucking ramping up.
It was
like,
too much, yeah.
Yeah, it was like we were ready to move on. And also it's like everybody's like on top of each other there. You hear everybody, like you're just never not being exposed to your neighbors.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the nicest aspects of moving here is like we have space and like people are just generally more chill. It's much quieter. you're kind of like left to your own devices, which is, I'm pushing 50, so it's kind of like what I need right now.
Yeah. Just like stability, routine,
Oh my
and
God, yeah.
calm.
Yeah, that's all I want.
Listen, I'm only 30. I feel the same fucking way, dude.
Yeah, so now that we have that here, it's like, it's heaven. Like we were just talking, we went for a walk today and we were just talking about, is there anything, my wife was like, is there anything you miss about Philly? And I was like, not really. Like I get to go back pretty often, but aside from food and like some friends, like, I'm kind of good. Like I had my Philly experience for 47 years, and I think I'm good at this point.
So your entire life you've been there.
Yeah. We
Holy
lived.
shit.
I grew up I moved to different neighborhoods. I was from an area called Delco, which is right outside Philly, and we lived like 5 minutes from Philly International. So it was like Philly's right there. And growing up, I was in a different part of Delco, which was bordering West Philly. And it was like the nicest possible experience growing up because we lived right by this like major transportation hub, and like this was the 80s, so we were just able to just roam around the neighborhood all day. Like my mom didn't care as long as you were home by the time it got dark. She didn't give a fuck. And it was like the best possible like neighborhood to grow up in because we had this like massive like transportation hub. So there were all these different people you were around. There was like right next to the transportation hub, there was like a shopping district which had everything you could want. And part of that was there was this really cool record store called Sounds of Upper Darby. And like, even though that was a time where like you were exposed to new music, like MTV was huge. So it's like we were just glued to the TV all the time when we were inside. And so we knew about new music coming out, and we just like wanted to like consume as much as possible. Yeah. And then we had this record store. They would just blast music all the time. And they didn't care that kids hung out in there. It was really nice. Yeah. So there was like, it was everything you could want as a kid. Like
it's nice you didn't have to like rely on your parents to go places. Like you could just kind of like walk wherever.
It was awesome.
Yeah, because where I'm from, like your parents got to drive you. When I was younger, drive you to the mall, and you got to rely on your parents anywhere. I mean, we had the same thing. Like come in when when it goes dark and the street lights come on, but it's like we can't go. We're just in the neighborhood. Yeah, we can't go nowhere. We're just playing basketball on the street. Yeah. Did you play any sports growing up?
I fucked around with things. Like I would always quit. Like I was on basketball for a little bit. I ended up quitting, and our neighborhood was weird. We didn't have like regular kids baseball. We had kids softball, which was very odd, but it was fun. It was most of my friends like played, and it was kind of cool. And aside from that, I did karate, which was like terrifying because like I was a very anxious kid, and like I would always have diarrhea as a kid. And it's like, I don't know if you ever had diarrhea in white pants, but it's the fucking worst thing you could possibly experience as an anxious kid. Yeah. So I forced my parents to sign me up for that. And I did it for like, I don't know, maybe like 6 months or so, but then I ended up quitting. Oh, yeah. But aside from that, like, I just wanted to watch movies, listen to music, and just hang out with my friends. Yeah. And like activities, like, I'd get like, every now and again, be like, oh, I want to try that. And I would try it. But then I was just like, I really don't feel like committing to this.
I was the same exact way. Yeah. But I also sucked at everything. So that played a part. I did swimming once, and I got sixth place. And I'm like, Mom, I got sixth place. She goes, honey, that's last.
You got the pool, though. I mean.
Yeah. No, my mom actually grew up in Delaware.
Okay.
She claims she grew up next to Joe and Jill Biden.
Whoa.
Yeah, they lived on her grandparents had an apple farm when she lived up there before her adopted dad like took her down here and everything. Mm-hmm. But it's crazy that like Philly, Delaware, like two completely different places.
They're right there. Yeah, it's like they're so close.
I've never been to Philly.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade where I grew up for anything, and like I have a love-hate relationship with the city itself. It's just too intense. Like it's going back there now, it's easy to recognize how unnecessarily angry people are there. Like it's just so intense.
Yeah, my dad's from New York.
Oh yeah, it's like you get it.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's just a guy crossing the street. It's like, what are you angry about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I look back on it fondly, but like I am glad I got out. Yeah. And it was like I always had this weird self-conscious thing about never leaving my hometown too. And I know it's self-imposed, but I'd always like felt like some degree of like self-consciousness about it. And I was like, that was part of like a big part of like like a motivator to get out and to try something different.
Yeah.
And to especially come here just because, there's so much comedy here and there's so many great spaces and there's so much, I don't know, there's so much like different energy where like there's so many people like trying, not even just trying, but like actively like making a living doing all this shit. And there's so many different ways, whether it's like stand up, whether it's podcasting and just different forms of ways to make a living doing comedy, which for the longest time, like, I mean, I'm old. So when I first got on stage, 2003, it felt like the only options you had were to move to New York or move to LA or maybe Chicago.
Yeah.
And if you couldn't do that, I don't know, I felt like a failure just because, I wasn't doing any of that. And even though Philly is like, there's so many funny places, so many funny people that come from Philly, and there are some like great spots there. There was always like, I don't know, maybe like a little brother syndrome where it's like, I'm here and like I'm doing okay, but it's not like the big time.
Yeah. There's like no expansion because it's not like a hot spot out there where like there's people watching and looking. And
it was, I don't know. There were some really good rooms and like some opportunity, but by and large, you kind of had to make a move.
Yeah.
And that was that way for a long time. And I was kind of just resigned to just, doing my spots wherever I could get them. And nothing really ever came about. And like a lot of it was because I got in my own way a lot. Like I got whacked on drugs, and I had always been like a big drinker. So that really like so many roadblocks that I put in my own way.
Yeah.
In addition to all the other shit that was already like standing in front of me.
Yeah. I mean, I can relate to it, but like I guess in a little different sense. Like I was starting to feel like, where am I going to go with? I mean, I know I've just started. I'm just under 3 years into stand up, but I was just like, where am I going to go with this? Because me and my husband, we've been together for 12 years. I started stand up like 9 years into our relationship, and it's cool. Like I can't just pack up and move. We're happy where we're at. We got our family around us, which is why I was just like, I got to do fucking something. Which is why I opened the club. It was just like,
which is, I just want to talk about that for a second. It's like, I've told, ever since I came back, I've told everybody, you have to go to this fucking club.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's like, you have everything dialed in perfectly there.
Thank you.
And it was like cool hearing that, when you told me that, you're just like, yeah, I just open up my own place because I wanted to do my own shit. It's like, I don't think there's I don't know if there's more qualities that I respect in people in that, like, there's something I need and I'm going to fucking do what I need to do to make it happen, as opposed to just sitting and waiting and hoping that somebody gives you an opportunity. Yeah. It's like, you're just doing it. You're just like, I know what I want and I'm going to go get it.
Yeah, but it can also be a problem.
Yeah. What's like the biggest problems you face with it?
I mean, well, I've always been like, I think it's because of my family. I've always been like an entrepreneur. Like I've always wanted to do something for myself. I hate working for other people. I've started so many businesses, probably like 10. I used to sell chargers on Facebook Marketplace, like color chargers when like iPhones first started coming out. I started selling organic dog treats. I've lost so much money just like investing into like, it was like the sports. Like I just sucked at everything. And I just go too deep. I'm either a 0 or 1,000%, which is very bad. Yeah. I have a very which scared me with comedy, because when I first started comedy, I did my first set on stage. It was like that, like, oh, this is fucking it. Yeah. And it scared me because I was like, oh, am I just going through another one of my things where I'm just like, oh, the comedy club, I was like, should I do this? Or is this just another one of my things where I'm like, oh, I just want to do it really bad and hope that it works out, and maybe it might not work out. But I don't know. This is the first time I felt like, in a gay way, like some sort of alignment on it, where it's just like everything just happened like boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is what I'm supposed to do. Open this fucking club.
Yeah. And I'm glad you feel that way, because it's clear from being in there within like 5 or 10 minutes, literally everything is dialed in. Everything is how you would want it to be as somebody who wants to go to a place. And it's
good to hear. Thank you.
And now that I'm getting around to so many different places, there's I don't know, at just about every place, it's like you realize what you could do differently. It's like, oh fuck, I should have done this or I should have done that. And it's like, even for like a better show or to get like a better turnout. And then there's also times where, you also look at like clubs and be like, I wish this was different. I wish that was that. Like the one club that I really love is Lincoln Lodge in Chicago. And it's like, they have everything locked in. Like everything, they just make you want to go back there. Yeah. But it was like, I got the same feeling going into your club where it was just like, dude, everything is like kind of like ideal. Like everything is what you want. And there's no doubt that it's going to explode at some point because like you have everything dialed in.
I appreciate that.
And it's everything is cool. It's like there's nothing but good things.
Yeah, I'm trying to build like an environment that people want to go to, like you were saying about that one club. Like, I want people to be like, oh shit, like I want to come. I can't wait to come back here. You know, that's the feeling I want people to leave with.
It's so fun because like you see it and like you learn so much in doing so many different shows and going to so many different venues, and when you see it done right, you just want to tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
And like that's the case. It's like, you know, as soon as I came back, like I had my Alex's shirt on like the next day, and it was like anybody who asked me like how it was like you got to go to this fucking place. It's as good as it fucking gets.
Yeah, and I think especially once like I was saying, like I want that place to be packed out no matter who's on stage because it's about the experience itself. It's about the environment, the experience. And I think with it being such a small room, it's possible, you know, at some point. But it's good to know that comedians are excited about it too, because it's just, that's what I want to have a top tier room. I want to make it as good as I possibly can with what I have. Yeah. And I even look now, I'm like, I could do that. I'm like, I got the money now,
and that's
but I'll
evident.
Get to
like
it.
you can you sense that like when you come in there, you can tell how much care is put into it. And all the things that you spoke about, like you spoke about, you know, selling chargers and doing all this different stuff. Like I guarantee like any kind of like not even misstep, but it's just like lesson that you learned along the way and doing all these other things that plays into making all your future shit even better.
Yeah, that's how I look at all my failures now.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to look at it objectively, and it's like, personally, that took me a long time to do. I kind of learned how to do that with getting sober because, you know, I would fuck up so often, and it wasn't until I started to look at like relapses objectively that I start to learn shit from that.
Yeah.
And in doing that, I started to look at like all the other aspects of my life the same way. And I feel like when you can kind of do that, like you're really ahead of the game because, you know, how many people do you see who the biggest impediment to their success is themselves? Like they just cannot get out of their own way for one different thing, or you see somebody who's insanely talented but just beats themselves up incessantly. And you're just like, dude, do you not understand what you are? Like, do you not see this, what everybody else sees?
Yeah.
But if you could view any kind of roadblock that you're into or that you face objectively and just be like, all right, this happened and I got to figure out how to fix this, or this happened and I know how to fix this, and then just do it. Like, you're just so much closer to getting it dialed in exactly how you want.
I like how you say it that way because, like, I've only really used that on, like, larger failures in my life. Like, I really haven't looked at it on, like, the smaller aspects of, like, small, like, you know, because I am, like I said, a 0 or 1,000%. So I smoke pot. Like, I smoke all fucking day, every day. And I can't put it down. And I'm not like, people are like, oh, well, why don't you just smoke at night? I'm like, I don't have the capability. I'm either zero, but it's interesting to look at, be like, okay, well, like, how can I look back at this and see where this is hurting me and actually look at it objectively, like you're saying, as opposed to being like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. I fucked up again. You know,
it's so hard though. And it's like, you know, I remember, like, I had a conversation with my wife recently because I'm really trying to focus on communicating better. Like, it started with her, but it's like I also like, I'm like, fuck, I need to communicate better with everybody because I can just be really bad at it. And there's times where like I don't even recognize how bad I am at communicating until like further down the line. Like, I was like, went to go check in on somebody who I'm trying to set up a show with, and I went back and looked at the inbox thread, and I was like, all right, fuck, I wasn't clear about like what I wanted there, and it's probably why I didn't get a response there. And it's entirely me. It's not like this person's deliberately icing me out. It's like, no, you didn't say like what fucking dates you were trying to come, dickhead. It's like, be fucking clear about shit.
Yeah.
And it's like the last few months I've been really trying to focus on that. But and going back to something you said, like I feel like I remember telling her too, it's like I don't, in regards to the communication thing, but also indicative of so many other aspects of like my own behavior. It's like I don't have like, I feel like most people like have a knob, like I have a switch. It's either on or off. It's like I'm either 100% and really into something, or it's like I'm completely oblivious to it and I won't give it a second of fucking attention. And it's like, it's either I'm consumed by something or it's like oh, I have no idea this is even happening.
Yeah, I'm the same way, and I have the same thing with communicating, and I think it's just people in general, because we all like have different perspectives and like the way we speak, the way we communicate. I mean, communicating. The same thing with my husband. We've been together for 12 years, and sometimes I have to remember that I can't just say the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I have to change the way I'm saying it, otherwise they won't understand it. And I have that problem too. It's messaging, especially over like text message and Instagram. It makes it way more difficult because people don't know your tone. They don't know how you're saying something either, or, you know. But I mean, yeah, it's interesting to say the least.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No. Go ahead. I was going next subject, but you can keep going.
But relative to that, you know, sometimes it's like if you'll make a certain change and like, you know, talking about alignment, you'll make a change or you'll be more conscious of something. And it's like, I know if, you know, algorithmically, like, yeah, your phone's fucking listening to you. So you're going to get more of the shit that you're like more of the behavior that's reflected on your phone. But however, just in life, like, you know, I'm big on synchronicities, and I know if I'm doing the right shit, you know, I'll start to see more of that stuff will be on my wavelength. Fuck, I forgot where I'm going with this. All right, never mind.
Communication, synchronicities, wavelength, everything working out, synchronicity.
All right, it'll come to me. I'm sorry, but I lost my train of thought.
It's fine. My next subject was boring, but how did you get into stand-up?
I always wanted to do it, and I had like a year where I was just writing jokes, and I always like writing jokes, and I just like trying to think of funny things. And finally, like 2003, I was like, oh, I'm going to try it. And I went up. There was a place in Philly called the Laugh House, and it was a really tough room. And I went to an open mic to check it out first because it was the only club in town that I knew at the time. There was like the Comedy Cabaret was like bigger in like Northeast Philly, but as far as like actual, you know, closer to downtown Philly, the Laugh House was where it's at. Mm-hmm. And I went there to watch open mic, and it was really an intense environment. Like in part because it was a black club, and like black audiences will let you know immediately whether they hate you or like you.
Yeah.
And it was like, and I didn't know any better, so I just assumed every room was like that. And it was kind of funny too, because like there was a group of like guys that were like clearly already established comedians. They would sit in the back of the room and they would heckle people that were really fucking eating shit. So I just assumed that's how it was for everybody. And I was like, all right, I think I can endure that. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll try my jokes. And I went and I signed up. And the guy that was hosting is an incredible comic named The Incredible Wid. He's a prop guy. Mm-hmm. It's really brilliant. Like you can see his shit on YouTube. He was hosting, and he kept saying, "You're next, you're next, you're next." And then he's like, "All right, the last comedian for the night." And I was like, "Oh my god, this is it." And it wasn't me. And I was like, I thought it was next. And I brought my wife, I brought my friend, and I was like convinced that like I was going to be a breakout star the first night on stage.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even me going up. But then after Wid introduced the last comic, I went up and I was like, hey, you kept telling me I was next. Like, can I at least go as everybody's leaving while the mic's still on? He's like, yeah, go for it, man. And he was kind enough. Yeah. And like people were leaving, but like they knew it was the last guy. And it was like, he went up to say goodnight to everybody. But he's like, if you feel like hanging around, the show is over. But this guy really wants to go up. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Dude, I wanted to fucking end it right there. Like a guy wants to try it. And he let me go up though. And it's like the mic was still on. And there were like maybe like 5 people or so that were very like sweet and fucking stayed.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and they were. And it was like, and I got some laughs. And it was like, oh my God, like this is so cool. And shortly after that, I think we found out we were having our first baby. And I kind of like dialed it back a little bit with going out. But even when I was going out, like I got in my own way pretty quickly. It was more just about partying, and it was like,
yeah.
You know, and I would write new jokes all the time, but by the time I would get up, I would be so hammered that it would just be a complete waste of time.
Yeah, shit. Well.
And there were like a lot of years where like I just putzed around like that, and it wasn't until, I don't know, shit, I probably did that. Fuck. Yeah, maybe until like, I don't think I started doing more stand-up until like 2020. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of years where I would just go, I would do like, 1 or 2 shows like a month.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I enjoyed seeing all my buddies and getting out. And it was kind of just dicking around. And like the first time though, where I felt like I made any progress in anything comedically, I started writing a parenting blog, which was just like, I was just trying to write like funny takes on shit I was experiencing. And it got pretty popular pretty quickly. And it felt good to have some kind of validation finally. Because at that point, that was like 2014. Mm-hmm. And like, I had been trying, different things for over 10 years then. And like nothing, in hindsight, I can look and say like, yeah, you were getting on stage like twice a month and you were hammered both times. So it was like, of course you're not going to make any progress. Yeah. But, in writing this blog and it becoming like popular really quickly and realizing like, oh shit, like maybe I am funny. Maybe I can do things that people like. That kind of got the ball rolling and led to other things. And that was like a good indicator that maybe there's a different way that you can succeed without moving to one of the comedy meccas. Yeah. And it was like a nice thing to at least take note of and just know that if nothing else ever happened in life, in my career, that at least I had that where...
Yeah, there's so many options that you can pursue with comedy, especially with online and everything. It's like... Yeah. And do you still do the blog, or did you...
I recently started it, I think back in April. I started writing more of those. But I haven't really kept up with it. It is something I would like to do consistently more, because when I was doing it, like I did that for like 6 months, and then I would write like every day, and by like the second month, I was getting like hundreds of thousands of views, and it was like, it just felt insane. Like I remember it was like I had the WordPress app, and I just kept refreshing just to see the numbers go up, because it was like, it was the first thing that was like a success. Yeah. And I couldn't believe it. It was like when people would leave comments, it was like, holy shit, like people actually like this.
That's validation to you about your talent. You're my God, I'm fucking like, I can do this shit.
Yeah, and it truly was, because it's like, you kind of have to be delusional to do any of this shit. Like you really have to be your own biggest advocate, and it's, for a long time, even now, it's like, it's gotten so much better, but self-esteem was like a huge fucking issue for a long time. And so much of that was completely reliant upon external validation. And it's when you're completely reliant upon external validation, you feel like you're going insane when it never comes, or when it rarely comes. Yeah. But to like get like a higher level of validation, it's like maybe I'm not delusional. Maybe I can do something worthwhile. Maybe make a career, make some money out of this. And I wrote a couple books too, and the books ate shit initially. I sold maybe a couple hundred copies, and like I was completely bummed out by that. However, like I did get one really nice email. It was a guy from remember the show? It was the State, but then Reno 911. Yeah. Fuck, I can't remember this guy's name. And this completely. Yeah, it was Robert Ben Garant. Okay. Yeah, he played Junior. Yeah, Robert Ben Garant. I had sent one of my books out to a bunch of different people whose work I admired, and Robert Ben Garant was one of them. And he sent me a really nice email telling me he thought the book was funny. So that was like another thing where it was like, holy shit, like this guy who I enjoy watching on TV thinks my shit's funny. Yeah.
I feel like throughout, even though I'm so early in, I feel like throughout comedy, or at least like stand up for me, I've had these like little instances that have helped me realize like, oh, I can be capable of doing this. Because it's like I beat the shit out of myself after I get off stage every single night. Like even if it went well, I'm just like, fuck, I forgot that tag. Yeah, that shit sucked. I should have done that. And it's like, I have people go, oh, that was a good set. You did good. And I'm just like, no, fuck, it wasn't. So it's hard to like break through that and be like, no, I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to try to be funny and do my shit and be happy with what I'm doing. It's hard to not be so hard on myself.
I know, but
or look for validation from other people, because it does feel good when people tell you have a good set, and like, oh, obviously we like when people laugh at us.
Yeah, but at least know that like. I know that anybody I know that's that hard on themselves and is that self-reflective is pretty good. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know anybody who I don't respect or I don't think is funny who ever has that. So it's almost across the board. Anybody who's that deeply self-reflective and is so critical, they're almost always across the board, at least improving or really fucking funny. So if you have that self-critical aspect to your thought process, I think, you know, you're on the right track. Now, I think there's a way to like meter that so you don't get in your own way.
Yeah, because I think sometimes I do go like way too heavy on myself. Because I've had people tell me like, Alex, you gotta fucking stop. It's like every time I see you, I'm like, it's something about my way of thinking my entire life that I'm like, you're not doing good enough.
Yeah, it's got to be why you excel though. Like you got to think that like, you know, I know you're probably very matter of fact about it, but it's like going back to your club. It's like this shit's fucking awesome. It's like you walk in there, it's like you see how much care is put into every aspect of it. And I know to you, it's probably you just think this is just what I do, and it's just, you know, what I wanted to make. But to an outsider, you're like, man, this shit is on point.
Yeah, I think it's maybe just because I've heard like both sides, like, you know, like, oh, it's good you're hard on yourself, but also maybe just like a balance of like, don't be so hard on yourself every single fucking time. Give yourself credit when, you know, credit's due. Yeah. But yeah, because I have people say one or the other to me all the time, and I'm just like, what the fuck do I do? I
think if you like,
listen to my gut, I guess.
Yeah, it's like even if you're just like, I don't know, being truthful about like, you know, after every like every show or whatever, like what's one thing that went well? And it's like,
that's a good.
If I got this joke out the way I want to, I know I have a tendency to get tongue tied. Like I'm not a naturally gifted speaker, so if I can get something out the way that I want to, that's a major win. It might not be hit as hard as I wanted to, but it's like, all right, I worded it the way I want to. I might have to just slow down my cadence or something like that. Yeah. I think there's some nights where it's like you really have to even like that might be the only win.
I mean, but that's what doing comedy is, right? We have to take notes about ourselves to improve. Yeah. So it's like, I think that's where I get so conflicted in my thought when I do complain about my sets, it's just me out loud going over the shit that I knew could have been better. Yeah. And I think people perceive it as like, oh, you just like, you know, think you're the worst person ever. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm thinking about all these things. Yeah, no, totally. I'm the same way too, where like on stage, I just like, especially since I'm so new, I'm still trying to figure out my toolkit. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, you know, I'm still trying to get comfortable on stage and fully be myself on stage. Like I finally understood, like, for me, that's the key. Like when I'm most like 100% myself on stage, like that's when I do the best. But it's the consistency of doing that like every single time, which I'm finding that I'm just like, oh, I just need to get the reps and the time in. Yeah,
but, I feel the same way about that shit too. Where it's like, I know that if I have a few weeks strung together consistently, where I'm on stage a lot, I feel 1,000 times more confident. Whereas if I don't, you know, it's going to be dog shit. I'm going to stammer through some things. I'm probably going to resort to old jokes rather than trying new shit that I'm working on. But, you know, objectively, you know, I have to like look. It's so important for me to like look at it through a different lens, because my default is to be hypercritical. It's like, this isn't good. Even to a point where it's even worse, where it's like, man, you suck, you're not funny. You'll never say anything funny again. It's just like, dude, why am I even fucking trying this? Yeah. There was a point where like back in, I think it was like October, I had 3 like horrific bombs in a row. And it was like, after the first one, I'm like, all right, it cannot get any worse. And then the second bomb came, and it's like, oh my God, that was worse. Yeah. And it was like, there's no way. And I had a show like an hour later, and that was a horrific bomb. And I called my wife. I was like, I don't think I know how to do this. It's like I truly don't know how to fucking tell jokes and like make people's corners of their mouths turn upwards. I don't know how to fucking do this. And it's like there are times where you can be too critical, but then there's times where it's like, I don't know. It's like I'm not making people laugh. So obviously something's not right here, and I have to work on this. But I think a lot of times, like, the key is just with everything, just fucking keep going. Just keep. You'll figure it out. You will figure something out.
That's where I've like gotten, because like I'm honestly, because I am so early in, I'm happy with where I'm at, because I get to do stand up pretty much every single day once the club opens full time, fucking every day. But it's like I'm happy learning this and I'm happy getting on stage. Yeah, that's all I need to do. As long as I can keep getting on stage for the rest of my life, I'm good.
Yeah, and it's like that's half the fucking battle.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's, I don't know. There's so many. I don't know. There's so many different ways to get in your head and to be critical to the point where it's not productive. But if you could just at least just acknowledge, like, I enjoy doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get better, and I will get better if I keep doing it. I think it's kind of enough to power you to the next fucking thing, to the next win.
Yeah, I think so. I think that is where the line is like, if you're telling yourself you suck so much that you won't even get on stage, then you're being way too overcritical.
Can you remember, like, the first time where you felt like, this is awesome and I want to do this for a long time?
Oh, the first time I got on stage.
Yeah.
Because I got lucky enough, my first time on stage, they gave me 10 minutes. Because it was in my local hometown, barely any comics on a Sunday night. And I had tried to go to the Funny Bone 4 times, kept getting on the bump list, or they were closed. So I ended up going to a local show. And like, I had only 5 minutes, like, prepared word for word. I had it written down, memorized, the worst way to do it, like a robot on stage. So I did my first 5 minutes, got like a couple chuckles. Yeah. They told me they were going to light me to get off stage, and I didn't see the light, so I just kept going. I was like, I'm just going to start talking. So I started just being myself and talking. I started talking about the strip club next door. I was like, they won't let me in because I ain't got no titties. And then they laughed, and I was like, whoa. Like, that was the first, like, joke I had that just came naturally when I was talking to them. And I was like, the smile on my face, I never had a feeling or a smile, like, so big like that before.
That's so cool.
It was just so intense that I literally went home to my husband that night, and I told him, I said, turn the TV off. Yeah. And he goes, what? I said, are you okay with me doing stand-up for the rest of my life? And he goes, yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, I'm just asking. Yeah. And then he turned his Naruto back on and kept watching. Yeah, but it was just so, even though it wasn't like, oh, it's the best, like, because I have no concept of, I'd watch like Ralphie May's like comedy class on YouTube. I listened to like a couple of Bill Burr's phone call conversations on YouTube of like people wanting to try stand up. Yeah. So I did like a little research to like understand the concept of like how it works and the growth and the, the scale, and you just still don't know until you actually do it. Yeah. So I was just blown away, and I haven't stopped. I mean, I've been going not every day, but at least 4 or 5 times a week.
Holy shit.
For the past 3 years. I've only taken like 7 days off when I went on vacation. I still did it in another country. I was like, all right.
Where'd you go?
I did Norway. An English bar in Oslo. I did Italy. They let me do my first 20 minutes. I was like 6 months in. They just left me on stage again. I was like, what the hell are you guys doing? Pretty cool. And it was an English bar in Rome, and it was an open mic. There was like 3 people. So I'm like, oh man, these guys are getting 20 minutes every damn week. What the hell? I had a great time there, but yeah, that's it. I think it was just Norway and Oslo. And that's it. But yeah, I can't help myself. Like, I don't know if you ever feel like this, but like, I get to this point where like, maybe it's because I don't talk to a lot of people. I'm very like isolated, which I like, honestly. I just kind of go home and like go do comedy, and I'll talk to people when I'm out. But fuck, where was I going with this? God damn it. I'm not even high either. That's the worst part. Like, I have no weed right now. This is the problem. No, I don't know where I was going. Never mind. No. I just completely lost it.
I think that's like a nice quality to have. Like, when you're hyper into something, also know that like, when I'm not doing that thing, I kind of need to be away from people and to be able to recharge so that you have the energy to do what you want to do.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The not doing it for a while. It's nice because of that, but also I just like, fuck, there it goes again. That's crazy that I just like, I caught the thought and lost it twice. Okay, there it is again. I'll not be on stage for like a few days, and I'm anxious to get out. I'm anxious to get on stage. Like, it's because when I go on stage, especially mics, because I'm doing mics all the time, like I said, I'm early in, I spill my guts just to try to get shit out. Like, if I haven't written anything down that's new, like, I'll just start, talking, because it's just like, I need to get it out. Because I'm not home just like, I mean, sometimes I am talking to myself, walking around my house. But yeah, I have this, like, it feels like a necessity. Yeah. Like, I have to get on stage. Yeah. Do you ever feel like that? Or?
Yeah, I definitely feel an itch. Like, there are times where like, I can fucking, I like to be a recluse. There's times where like, I know it works to my detriment. Especially now that like, we have like a nicer house than like we've ever had. Because like we finally have a place that we're choosing to live in as opposed to being relegated to something we can afford. Mm-hmm. And now that I have like a nice house, it's like it takes a lot to get me to leave. And as much as I enjoy or get something out of it every time I do stand up, but even just driving to a show, it's like, oh man, it's like I could be fucking looking at my fucking cats right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, but as soon as I get there, like last night I came here to the creek. And, I wanted to stay home and watch. The Sixers were playing, and it was Game 7, and the Flyers were playing, so I wanted to like sit home and watch that. But Rebecca told me, she's like, if there's a spot if you want. I was like, yeah, I want to do it. Because it's like I knew like I had to get on stage. And I got a bunch of shows coming up this week. I was like, I have to get on stage. And I came last night, and it was an awesome show. And there are times, though, that was one of the times where it's like, even though I might want to stay home right now, I know I have to get on stage. Because, even if it's not working through like new jokes, it's like there's benefit to just getting out and just getting more comfortable, which for a long time, that was a big thing for me, because going back to what you mentioned a few minutes ago, there was a long time where if I didn't say things exactly how I had written them, I would freak out. Like, I have to say it this way. Mm-hmm. And, oftentimes it's, it doesn't work out that way. Like people like genuine like speech, like you talked about the strip club. It's like, yeah, people like hearing that stuff. They want to hear you speak freely. They want to see you comfortable.
Yes, yeah. That's one thing that I've learned, because my first year, I was getting so much advice from like locals, and it was a lot of technical advice, and I was taking everything. Mm-hmm. And I was like robotic on stage, word for word, for like probably 6 months straight. I was trying to figure out why I was bombing at all these shows, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing wrong? And then I finally realized, I'm like, oh, I'm not even in here with these people. Mm-hmm. Like they don't even see me communicating with them or hear me, because I'm not in the moment. Yeah. I'm not believing anything I'm saying. And I've gotten to the point to where I'm like, now I literally just remember like the subject and the punchline. And I fucking try to get to it. And like, but I've gotten to a point to where like, I was telling my comedy buddy, Bobby Jaycox, just the other day, I was just like, I get to a point to where like, I don't know if I have like, I don't know if you call it a skill, but like I've had this thing since I was a kid where if I've made somebody laugh by something I've said, I've always been able to remember it. So anytime like I've gotten on stage and I've like, naturally said something on stage, like that was in the moment, it'll come out next time in a natural way. Okay. So I don't like try to remember it. And that's been helping me be more like in the moment on stage and with people. 'Cause like, I feel like that's one of the biggest keys is like for them to feel like you're in the room with them and I'm like, oh, I got to talk to these people like I just met them at the bar. Yeah. Or something like that, and it's helped me a lot.
Yeah, I think that's 100% true, and also I think people, for me, like remembering people want to see you do well. Mm-hmm. Like people want to see every comedian that they pay to see make them laugh, because for a long time it probably relates to deeper seated issues where I would feel like it's me against everybody else in the world. It's like in a comedy club, it's like, no, people want you to make them laugh, and they want to see you do well. So the more relaxed you are, the better they're probably going to receive it.
Yeah. And I've always had my best sets and whenever I've done that. So it definitely, it helps. I think it's just, I don't feel like there's like there's a basic playbook to comedy, but like, I feel like everyone just like has to figure it out on what funny are you? Yeah. Like cause before I started comedy, I was not myself. Mm-hmm. I was always trying to people please. Yeah. I would, put on a mask or I'd, what the kids call code switching. Yeah. Like I would act black. Yeah. I still do. But it's, I would, people, comedy friends have looked at my old Facebook pictures. They're like, who the fuck were you? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I just wasn't comfortable with myself. Yeah, I just wanted people to like me, and little did I know this whole time I just had to be myself for people to like me, which is absolutely fucking insane. I've wasted all this time.
You're talking to the right fucking guy. Yeah. Like I just talked to somebody today because I brought it up on a podcast before, and like he brought it up. He's like, yo, I heard you say this, and it really struck me as fucking insane. But there was a time where, it was like, you know, early teens where I just wanted to be what I thought people liked. And a big part of that was because there was like a 3-year period when I was a kid where I didn't have any fucking friends. So it was just like, what do you guys want? Like, I'll be that. And I was very heavy in the rap, but I also had just started getting into Green Day. And like, I was paranoid that if I got a friend who also liked rap, that they would fucking hate me if they found out I also had Green Day CDs. So it was like when Dookie was out and they had an EP Kerplunk, which I also had, I would keep those hidden under my dresser because I was so fucking paranoid that one of these rap friends, who I didn't fucking have, by the way, would come over and see that I also like Green Day. That would be the end of the fucking friendship. And like that kind of shit was so indicative of how I felt for so long, where it was just like, you know, I know what I like, but when I was around other people, it's like I would be what you wanted, just because I just needed to be accepted under any circumstances.
Yeah, I would hide who I am completely. I still do sometimes. I don't like comics in my hometown. They'll tell you they know nothing about my personal life. They know I'm married and I live in a house and that's pretty much it. I mean, crowds more know about me than people do because I spill everything on stage, but it's just like I still kind of like, you know, hide myself sometimes, but I also have learned that I'm kind of shy unless I kind of like force myself to like talk, and then I'll start to get comfortable. I think it's just a matter of getting comfortable around somebody now, and I'll really start to be myself because I'm fucking like I'm an insane person. Like you don't even know me yet, but you know, I think the Earth is flat and
nice.
And no, I mean, yeah, but no.
Do you think what do you think it is that makes it more comfortable to talk to strangers than to people you might know a little bit?
Probably because I'm not going to see him again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and if I do, they likely won't remember. They're like, oh, that one punchline that we heard. All we know is you made us laugh, and I hope that's the case, but... I mean, yeah, because on my podcast, I don't talk about my deep personal life. Like, I never talk to people about, like, what goes on in my household. Like, that's a sacred, sacred space. But on my podcast and on stage, I don't know. I think that's really it. Like, I don't have to see the person all the time. So it's like, I won't really show it. But like the people that know me, they're like, yeah, she's a fucking nutso. Like, you know, she's out of her mind. She might get Baker acted one day. I do get concerned sometimes with some of the shit that I say.
Yeah, you should put that on your bio. Might get Baker acted someday.
Yeah, I say it all the time now, so that way when it happens, somebody will break me out.
Yeah,
somebody will be like, "No, she's right. We're gonna go get her." Because in Florida, you can, even if you're not a family member, you can have someone committed. Like you can literally turn somebody you know into. We have this place called Circles of Care, and they just said, and my mom went there one time. She tackled my brother's girlfriend. This is a drinking time. She's sober now, but no, it's crazy. You can just send like a friend there. Like if you have a friend that's having a mental breakdown, you can call the cops and they'll come and basically just take them to this place, and then the psychiatrist will do like the thing and whatever. And I've only been to pick my mom up. Yeah. Not yet. I haven't gone. Don't send me, Mike.
No, you're good.
He's like, this bitch thinks the earth is flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Do you, what are you into outside of comedy?
I'm trying to see more shows, because when I was younger, I used to go to shows constantly, and it's weird because when I stopped drinking, I stopped doing drugs. Like I had to figure out what I liked, and I think I'm still trying to figure that out. You know, I like having conversations with people. Like I like, you know, a few things that I like less than having like a surface level conversation, and I think that's part of like why I like podcasting. Is like if I have somebody on, it's like people. By and large, people like are willing to like open up and answer any questions I have for them, especially like with my solo podcast, I get to do that. So I guess I really like fucking podcasting, and it's like, you know, I know it would probably benefit me to like spend less time being consumed by work, but I really like fucking doing podcasting. I like doing this shit. Like I love performing here. Like I just like doing comedy.
Yeah.
I love traveling. So it's like, I'm kind of like, the grift is like kind of figure out a way to like set up shows around like what I like to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I love traveling. I love fucking Disney World. So getting to come to Orlando was like right up my alley. It's like, dude, I cannot believe this.
Yeah.
As soon as I got off the fucking plane, I went right to the Magic Kingdom
by myself. I forgot to ask you. I didn't even really have time to ask you. Yeah. How was that?
I love that shit so much.
When's the last time you've been there?
To Disney World, maybe like a year and a half ago. I went to Disneyland a few months ago, though. Like, I truly love this shit. Like, I know people look down upon Disney adults, but I have no fucking qualms about admitting that I am one of them.
Yeah.
And now, truth be told, it is a lot more enjoyable with my family there. Mm-hmm. And it can be a little bit weird walking around Disney by yourself as a 47-year-old man who looks like this.
A little.
But yeah. It's nuts because, like, I've been, like, for some reason this weekend, I've been getting, like, just besieged with, like, anti-Disney adult shit in my Twitter feed.
Oh, I mean, it's all over. People just, there's like a mob of Disney adult haters. Yeah. I mean, I've been going there since I was a kid, and it's family, you know. I like going with family too.
Yeah, but it's like you live there, so it's like it's more appropriate and more like understandable for you to say like, yeah, I go to Disney.
Yeah. I'm going to go alone now, dressed like Erica Kirk's recent podcast.
Oh, dude, you got the fireworks behind you, dressed like Erica Kirk. Like, oh, my God.
In front of the Disney castle. Yeah. Stop.
Oh, my God. No, you gotta. Oh, man, which Erica Kirk would you be? Would you wear the current iteration black hat, like black zip up?
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Might be the most insane outfit I've ever seen. And, you know, I've taken pictures with furries. So, like, seeing that shit, it was like, whoa, man, this is fucking nuts.
Because she always dresses, like you were saying, like the iterations, like she always dresses like genuinely like business suit or like pretty feminine.
Yeah.
So when I mean, that would be the pick because look at me. I mean, but I saw the memes online the morning it happened, and I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? I'm like, they had to have done this to her on purpose. They knew they were going to compare her to a bunch of people.
Now, how many days in a row do you think you can go to Disney before they realize you were Erica Kirkin?
I think I could get away with it forever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They got good plastic surgeons in Florida. That would be pretty crazy for someone to pretend to be Erica Kirk.
I don't know, man. I think that might be like the next cosplaying.
Yeah. No, Halloween this year.
Oh, yeah. All Erica Kirks, yeah.
Everyone's going to be dressed like her. I think it's my funniest, or not my funniest, but the funniest thing I saw about that was somebody said she dressed just like the assassin. I saw a comment about that. I was like, oh my God, that is insane. Because he actually was in all black.
That's pretty
yeah. Oh, shit's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I like to do, and it's I like fucking being home now too. Like I was always very self-conscious about, you know, where I lived and like my house, and it was never like reflective of what I felt like I should have been providing for my family. So I was always like very self-conscious of that shit. So now that I got like a nice spot and everybody's got their own room, and it's like I don't want to fucking leave the house. Like, I truly just like being there. You know, I like reading, so I like to just sit and I like to fucking read and just enjoy my space.
Yeah. I do the same thing now for the first time ever because we just finally got, like, an acre. And, like, my husband's got his garage, and, like, we finally got the things we've been waiting to get for a long time. And I tell you, I sat outside on my patio, not even realizing it, for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I got a sunburn.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize
I get it.
But I was just like, it's because before I would always leave my house. I didn't want to be home, like you were saying earlier. Like you're just like, oh, I'm not like. It doesn't feel like home. Like this isn't the place.
I just want to be somewhere else. And for a long time, like it was so detrimental for so many reasons. It was financially detrimental too because I would take like multiple vacations a year. Some would be with my family, some on my own, and you know, up until recently, like I didn't have multiple vacation money, and doing that shit, like I would borrow money from a loan shark, and it was fucking insane. Like every Disney trip from like 2013 to maybe like 2024 was financed by my loan shark.
Yeah.
And it was fucking insane to like think that like you have to get out of your house that badly. Like I need a reprieve for my own home. Yeah. And I'm willing to like, you know, mortgage my future just to go fucking stand in line to fucking shake Mickey Mouse's hand because I hate being home this much. At the time it makes sense, but like in hindsight it's like paying 30% interest on whatever the fuck I borrowed to go to Disney World was insane.
No.
And, you know, finally, you know, a lot of things like started like trending like much better than they were before. And now that I have like, you know, a place where I actually want to live in a nice neighborhood, and it's like to sit in the yard and like just to be able to sit and look at birds and, you know, listen to the fucking wind.
Yeah.
Whereas like shit like that, like it means a lot. So to be able to like eventually get there too, especially like later in life, because for a long time I was convinced I would never get what I wanted. Even up until like early 40s, like I felt like there were like be times where it seemed like it was like, oh, something really good's going to happen. Then it gets taken away. And like, there was a time in like, I guess when I was like 40, yeah, it was around that time. My buddies and I, we had a show that was, got picked up, ordered to pilot for Comedy Central. And it was like, we were convinced this was going to be a show. And it was like, this is the ticket for everybody out of here. We filmed the pilot, really fucking funny. Everybody was great in it. And then in an email, it was just like, no thanks. And at that point, it was like, it's all done. Like,
yeah,
I'm just going to work.
It's got to be hard to push through that, like, after something like that happens.
It was crushing. It was embarrassing. And it was like, because I told so many people, like, everybody I worked with was, like, aware of it. And I was convinced it was going to happen. And to see, like, actual, like, you know, representations of, you know, success where it was like, hey, they're paying us. Like, I remember I got the check. It was like to film the pilot. I got paid like $1,800, which was like an insane amount of money at the time.
Yeah.
I remember the day I cashed the check, like I had this wad of cash and my kids and I were celebrating, and I was making it rain on the fucking kids. And it was just like we were blasting music on the TV, and it was like such, in and of itself, it was a success, but like it was like we were convinced that like it was just a predictor of more success. And then it was just gone. And it was the embarrassment of having to tell everybody, like, no, I'm just a guy working here now. And it's like, I don't have this thing anymore that I was so, like, convinced was going to happen. And, you know, for all of us involved, like, we thought, you know, that was just it. But, like, everybody, you know, nobody could have predicted what could happen after that. Like, you know, everybody became successful to some degree. Like, like my buddy John McKeever, he directs Tires now. Yeah. And like Steve Gerben, he stars in Tires. He's one of the executive producers. And Tommy Pope is one of the funniest fucking comedians out here and does an incredible podcast. And like Tim Butterly, you know, he's going to explode any minute now. And it's like he has all this shit. And we do Dad Meet together. And it's like Tim and I actually started Dad Meet just to have something fun to look forward to. Because once like the pilot for the show was called Delco Proper. Once that was done, we were just like, I kind of don't want to do anything anymore. And like Tim and I felt that way for like a while. And I think it was maybe like 3 years before like, hey, you want to do a podcast? And like we were like, yeah, I guess we'll do it. And we started recording, and it was just something fun to do that felt good again. And, you know, and it was a chance for us to just hang out with each other and talk and just be fun. And, you know, we got kind of lucky in that within like, I don't know, maybe like a year or so, we started to make a little bit of money. And it's like, I remember like looking at our Patreon, like this one month, it was like, we were splitting $600, and I was like, oh my God, like this is just from comedy. Yeah. This is $300 each that we made just from fucking around and talking to each other. Yeah. And then we kept doing it. And like, I can never convey to people who like listen to like that podcast or any of the other shit I do, just how much I value them for like what they did for me. Cause it was like, I was working jobs where I was just severely underpaid and was totally resigned to like just being underpaid for the rest of my life and not, you know, achieving any degree of what I wanted to achieve in this like endeavor that I always wanted to be a success in. So it's like anytime I get to meet people at a show or something like that, it's like, you know, they might thank you for saying, hey, I enjoy the podcast, or like, I enjoy the show. It's like, bro, it's like, you have no idea what you've done for me. Like, all you people that listen to my shit and come to my shows or buy my books, it's like I have the life I have because of you.
Yeah.
And it's hard to convey that to people, just because it's I don't know. I don't know. It might be hard for people to like accept, but it's like I just want to grab people by the shoulders and say, like, dude, like I really enjoy life now. Whereas like there was a long time ago where that wasn't the case. And it's like I kind of get to do what I want. Like I get to come here and do a podcast with you.
Yeah.
And just I'm not concerned about making it to my job or having to like take a half day, you know, beg my boss for fucking time off. Like I'm able to do this shit now because complete strangers support me.
Yeah.
And it's insane to me that it got to that point.
Yeah, and with comedy, it's like those are the people that help you survive and live the way you want to live. I mean, they're giving you your paycheck, so yeah. And it's hard. It's got to be hard to like remember when like tough things like that happen, like the pilot, like when one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah.
Because you don't see it then, but then it happens, and you're like, okay, this is the momentum, and yeah, I mean, the momentum was always there, but it's just like doors open, doors close, and I don't know what I'm going to experience. I've only been doing it for 3 years, but the ebbs and flows that go through people's comedy careers, I've listened to like audiobooks of like Richard Pryor and Lenny Bruce, and like it's interesting to see from childhood their path of ups and downs and just their career, and and
it's like there's so many different versions, especially now because you could find like so many different iterations of success. For me, like my definition of success is being able to do what I want. Like I want to do a podcast at 2:00 on a Sunday. I want the freedom to do that, and I have that now. It's like I might not have, you know, 6 figures in my bank account, but it's like I have the freedom to do that.
Yeah.
And for me, success has always been, I would put like freedom at the top of the list, and then I want to support my family too. So like finances are like shortly behind that. But far and away, it's like I like doing what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah.
And it's like I get to do that with podcasts, with stand-up, with writing books. And the longer I can do that, it feels like I'm getting away with murder. Because there were so many years where I'm working like 60-hour weeks, like, you know, trying to support my family and also kind of like keeping a foot in the door of doing something creative and just feeling like I'm spinning my wheels.
Yeah.
And having so few reflections that it's worthwhile. Because it wasn't until like 20, like granted, like, having like being a part of the pilot, that was a massive deal. Like I mentioned the blog earlier, that being a version of success. It wasn't until close to 20 years into from the time I first got on stage to 20 years later, where I was able to make a living being creative. And it was like, I was just resigned that it wasn't going to happen, but you know, I was kind of like still doing some creative things, and just one day it was just like that. Like I put out my 3rd book, which was On Perks, which is about all my years being whacked on painkillers and all the fucked up shit that I would post on Facebook, just whacked on painkillers. It's the most embarrassing shit. But when I put out that book, by like the second day I had it for sale, it was like I made like there was one day I made like fucking like $8,000 or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, this feels like a fucking million.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I'm going to like take shit seriously, this is what I'm going to, now.
Yeah.
And I went to my boss and like, I was like, hey, like things are kind of like, I want to like try to make a living doing this shit. And she was so supportive and so sweet and kind about it. And it really made that transition easier. And ever since that point, it's just, you know, I just try to keep my feet moving every day. And it's, you know, I like doing a lot of different things. Stand-up, writing, podcasting. Those are the things I really love doing.
Yeah.
And I've been able to make a career doing that stuff. And it's kind of like, there's times I feel guilty because like before doing all this shit, I worked with kids with special needs. And like, I should have made the money I make now work doing that kind of work.
Yeah,
that
tough.
was like real fucking, every day you go home, you feel like you made a
hard.
difference in somebody's life.
Yeah.
So there are times where it's just like, oh man, like I feel a little bit guilty about this. But at the same time, like I'm still super grateful for this shit because it's like, you know, I didn't give up. And I think, you know, anybody listening to this or watching this is just like, whatever you got going on, just keep going. Because you never know what's on the side of what you're experiencing right now. And it could be fucking years where it feels like, kind of like, you know, Count of Monte Cristo. You're just like biding your time and scratching off years on the fucking wall. Who knows? It's like, you never know when your fucking break's going to come.
It's true.
And for me, the break is just getting to do all the shit I want to do now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and my husband are the same way. Like, the top of our list is freedom. And obviously in the U.S., freedom comes with finances.
Yeah.
But yeah, because my husband, he, like, works on cars and he does YouTube for cars and all that stuff. And he doesn't, we were having this conversation because sometimes we'll just sit outside and talk. And we were having this conversation the other day. Like, when we first met, we were like, this is what we want. Like, we had an idea of what we wanted together.
Yeah.
And it was like, the house we're living in now, his big ass fucking garage is bigger than the house,
Yeah.
But we've been talking about this forever. And then all of a sudden we woke up and we have it. You don't look
It's
back
nuts.
and see like, oh, wait, no, we've been working towards this for 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's like the work, because like you'll see people just blow up overnight.
Yeah.
But no, that person's been busting their ass for the past 20 fucking years, doing that same shit every fucking day.
Yeah.
So it is like you're saying, just keep doing it every day. And dude, I'd be the same way. If I could just quit my job and run that club, hopefully soon, I'd be happy forever.
Yeah, and I don't think it's that far away.
Yeah.
Because you have all the elements of what people look for in a club like that.
Yeah.
It's like even like the outside hang, it's like it was so nice hanging out front side. We found a lost dog.
I know. Oh my gosh.
My god, dude.
That was crazy.
That was like such like a heartwarming fucking like aspect chapter to the night.
Yeah.
But even it was just everything's ideal. It's like even inside's fun, and then you come outside, and it's like it's a nice area. You don't have to worry about like a million cars coming through there. It's like you're comfortable whether you're inside or outside, and it's I don't know. It's nice to like hear and see like examples of that, of somebody who's fucking gunning it and has been for fucking years, and you're making like what you want to exist, despite all the hard shit that you've had to endure, and that you're still like working through. It's like, there's a million things that I know people will never know about that go into that club, where you're just like, I'm just doing this because it's going to make it better.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully.
No, you're doing it. And it's like people like eventually like one day it's like, the switch is going to flip.
Yeah.
And it's like that's going to be, the biggest thing there.
And it honestly, because people do give me a lot of credit, which thank you so much. It takes fucking everybody though. All these comedians that are helping me like run the sound booth and like, coming out the host when there's not a host, or just like coming by to watch a show. We don't have a lot of tickets sold. It's like these guys are so, in Orlando especially, I mean, mostly who I'm surrounded by, but these comics are so supportive. And I mean, with my family too, my husband has been supportive from the beginning. Like, he's building the stage right now. We had to rebuild the stage out of metal. But he's fabricating a whole ass stage and welding it out of metal just to put it in there. And it's like, without all these people, like, helping me out and saying good things about the club, it's like, it wouldn't exist. It honestly wouldn't. It wouldn't without all these people. So I'm grateful for everyone that's been helping me to make it what it is. Like, yeah, I mean, it did take, like, me, like, thank God I traveled when I first started doing comedy. I started 3 months in, traveling every 3 months. I would go to Austin or a new place, and going to all these clubs like Black Rabbit, Velveeta, New York Comedy Club, Comedy Cellar. I was like, oh, like this is what it's supposed to sound like. This is what it's supposed to look like. It helped. It helped me understand what I needed and to make it what it is for, such a small room that it is. But I mean, I'm so thankful for everybody. I mean, you too. Thank you for coming out.
Well,
and I want you to come back whenever.
No, and I can't wait to come back. It's like, one, because I'm a Disney adult and I love any excuse to come to Orlando. But also, it's like, that was truly like one of the nicest experiences I had at a club. And also, too, it's like just as respect for somebody who's making what they want to make. And it's, it's got to be, that shit didn't exist. It only exists because you made it exist. And it's like, I understand what you're saying, and like, I agree with you. Like, it takes so many people to make something successful. But I just have a lot of respect for people that are just like, I want this thing, and I'm going to figure it out. It's going to be a lot of fucking bumps along the way, but I will figure it out. Yeah. So,
but you're the same type of person too.
Yeah, and I know, and I truly believe that. And it's like, we're going to figure it out. No matter what fucking comes up, we got it. Yeah. And that's kind of like, that's been my mantra now for a while. It's like, I got it. Whatever it is, I got it. I'm going to figure it out. Yeah. With, whether it's, learning hard lessons through fucking failure, which is, at the time it can be crushing, like with the fucking thing that I mentioned. And it's like, you just got you keep going.
Yeah.
Like you're
push forward.
You have to. It's like there's no choice. What are you gonna do? Fucking sit in your house and fucking cry about it forever?
Yeah.
It's like figure it the fuck out. You will. And it's like there's no telling what's on the other side of all that shit. And in a lot of cases, it's something like beyond what you could ever fucking comprehend. And you know, there's a good chance you're going to be rewarded for your work at some point.
Yeah. I mean, I do have these like moments where like I'll be like just so overwhelmed with so much shit going on. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? But then I look back and I'm like, what, like you were saying, what's the other option? I'm like, oh, jumping off of a bridge. Literally, because I'm like, I can't think of my life being any other fucking way.
I know.
When I look at the two paths I could take, it's literally either death or this.
Yeah.
Which is nuts to say, but it's true. That's how I feel.
Did you always feel that way about like other projects you were working on, or like once you started to gravitate toward this specific thing?
It was only this.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very depressed pretty much from my teenage until I started this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I didn't know what I wanted. I had no passions. I would always pick up hobbies that like other friends would do.
Yeah.
I would hang out at kava bars and waste my money and my time there. But when I started comedy, I came back to a, like, not religion, but like, you know, God, universe, or whatever. I believe in God, but I came back to God when I was like really, really depressed. I was like pretty much on my knees, just like begging, like, I don't have the balls to kill myself, so help me. You know? Yeah. And I found comedy 3 months later. Yeah. And it changed my whole perspective on my entire life. Because I was looking down a black tunnel. Yeah. I was just like, what's my future? I mean, I love my husband. I'm happy with, but I don't. I need something that's for me, that I'm, you know, feels like it's what I'm supposed to do, because I've always had this feeling in my life that like, no, this isn't it. This isn't this job working at Moe's Southwest Grill. I'm not supposed to be rolling burritos for the rest of my life. And now I'm working in supply chain, and I'm just like, AI is about to take over my job. So no, but I just never was happy until I started this. So yeah, I was always just like thinking about death pretty much all the time.
That's the truth. You know,
I'm just saying the truth.
Alex, I'm
it might
with
be brutal
you.
for some people to hear, but I know like comedians, like we, you know, not experience the same life, but we all go through, I mean, humans in general, we all go through a lot of shit.
It's especially like when you're not tapped into, you feel like when you find your thing, like, you know it when you find your thing. And there were so many days I remember like driving into work and just wishing that a fucking car would swerve into my lane just so I wouldn't have to go to work that day. Like, I would be willing to have a full body cast and fucking traction to not have to be at work for the rest of the fucking week. And it's like, I was just resigned that was going to be my reality forever. And to not have that, and to finally like be able to lock into like shit I truly enjoy and be around so many people I enjoy and just kind of want to further all the shit I'm doing as much as possible. It's like, I know this is my thing. Yeah. Because I feel energized. Like, I feel good. Like, I feel happy when I'm doing shows with people, when I'm doing podcasts, when I'm interacting with people who listen to the stuff I do. Like, that kind of shit energizes me, where, you know, I might have gotten some enjoyment out of shit I've done before, and I would have gotten some fulfillment, but I didn't have the same feeling that I have right now doing all the things I'm doing. Yeah. So it's like, you know, when you're doing the thing, whatever your purpose is in the midst of that thing, you know, kind of just feel like a team player. Like, this is not all about me. As much enjoyment as I'm getting out of all this shit, like, there's a purpose that I might not understand to all of this, that somebody might benefit from this somehow.
Yeah, like we're all playing a piece to the giant puzzle of Earth.
That's it. It's like it's like you're a piece. Like, everybody's a piece, and it's like, I think being conscious of that, and like you giving credit to all the people who help you set up your club, like that, that speaks volumes about you. But also, it's like clear that you get it. Like, you know that it takes so many different people to make anything successful. Yeah. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, any kind of, you know, like last night I came to do a show here. It's like, yeah, it's fun, and it's like, you know, it's good when people laugh, but it's like, it takes getting people in here. It takes a bartender keeping fucking drinks going. It takes the AV guy making sure all the shit's right. It takes, you know, a fucking host making sure everything runs like smoothly. Like, there's so many different elements that, you know, when you're younger, when you're selfish, like, you're not conscious of. It's all about you at that point. Yeah. But, you know, whether it's age or whatever, it's like, I think the more that you become aware of how lucky you are to get to experience anything good. Yeah. It's like, it's like there's a certain gratitude that comes along with that. But then also it's like, I think you're rewarded more times than not for being aware of just how much it takes to make anything happen, and specifically anything good happening.
Yeah, and like you hit it right on the nose, like lucky. I was about to say that. Like, I feel so lucky that I found this. Yeah. I feel blessed because I'm like, I mean, I get to do this. I get to do this. Yeah, I got to pay a little money here and there, but I get to get on stage. Like, this is, and I don't even have to, you know, open mic right down the street. I don't have to pay for it. I'm so thankful that I found this, especially early on in life. I'm only 30. I found it when I was like 27, but I'm so thankful.
Yeah, and it
makes me happy. That's why I keep doing it.
It's awesome, and it's like, it's not even relative to just this. It's like whatever your thing is, and the lucky thing, I truly feel like the luckiest guy on the fucking planet for a lot of different reasons. And when we go for walks, like I'll walk through I'll have my hands up like this because I feel so grateful for shit. I know I look like a psychopath. I don't give a fuck. Like, I truly feel grateful, and I'm so lucky to be doing all this shit because there's so many different ways where it could have broken a different direction. You know, just a lot of times of my own doing, and specifically with drugs and alcohol for me, that like I could not have foreseen all the good shit was on the other side of all that struggle. And to just be here, like in a place where I want to live. Like, I love Austin so much, and I love living here. And if somebody showed me a crystal ball a year ago and said, this is all the shit that's going to go right for you to get you to this point, I would not have believed it. There's no way I would have believed everything that had to go right in order for me to be like here right now. I would have never fucking believed it. And the fact that it did, it's just like, it feels like playing with house money all the time. Yeah. It's like, all right, I'm just fucking lucky, and like, I don't know, my luck might end tomorrow. If it did, I had a really good fucking run. Yeah. Like, there's no way I could have foreseen all of this good shit happening. It doesn't mean, you know, there's not bad shit that's going to happen, like, naturally, but you have to fucking take time to just be like, I'm so grateful for this shit. And I'm so glad that all this stuff happened. And I feel so lucky because, you know, I feel like it's a byproduct of just keep going. You keep going, you keep going. The more you keep going, the luckier you're going to get. Yeah. Because the hard times and the failures are where it's difficult to push through and, like, remember that. Because I recently, just with opening the club and everything, I've had, like, personal stuff going on with, like, family and stuff. And it, like, overwhelmed the fuck out of me. Like, for 2 weeks, I was... You ever have that experience where you're, like, don't feel like you're inside of your body? And, like, can't react emotionally to anything? I had that happen to me for, like, 3 days straight. It was the longest it ever had. Usually it's, like, a day or something when it's when my body's just like, yeah, you're done. Like, you can't function anymore. Yeah. We're going to let your soul relax. Yeah, you can keep doing things, but you need to go lay down. Yeah. So it's hard. It was really hard for me to, like, I keep telling myself literally every day, I'm like, Alex, this is the hard part. This is the fucking tough times that you have to get through for shit to happen. Yeah. And once you get through it, it'll get better, but it's going to get bad again. But it'll get better. So, and it's hard to be like, okay, just go through it and just keep going. Just keep going. I know there's times where it's just like, that thought seems so far away. It's not even like when it finally comes to you, you're just like, oh, why didn't I just remind myself of that throughout the entire time? And there was a point, like, it was right before I had, like, all that good shit happen with my book. Like, I was really fucking spiraling. I was, like, mentally, I was worse than I ever was. And I was, like, I went for a long walk with my wife, and, like, we ended up walking through the park at the end of the street. And I was just, at one point, I was screaming in the park. I was going, I feel like my brain is broken. And it just felt like my brain was, like, separated from, like, my fucking soul or spirit. And I'm just like, I don't know what the clinical term for this is, but, like, I don't feel like me, and I just feel like I'm just on another fucking planet right now. Just a vessel. Yeah, you're, like, outside of your vessel. Yeah, that was it. It's like I was truly outside of my fucking vessel. And historically, I think anytime I feel like that now, in hindsight, I can look back and say, like, oh, yeah, that's normally, like, you know, when you get to a point that low, it can only fucking get better. And then also it's like, I feel like that's usually a point where that breaking point has to happen before some really good shit. Yeah. That's been the case, and I don't know why it is like that for me. I could pinpoint every time I've walked around my neighborhood screaming, almost every time within days of that, something really good happens.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's one thing that I guess hopefully like subconsciously that's registering, where if like I'm dealing with something really fucked up or really just intense where I don't know how to deal with it, that something good is going to happen around the corner, and like at least remind me that the bad shit's going to be temporary. I don't know like how temporary. It could be a day, it could be a year temporary, but there is other good shit that's going to happen at some point.
Yeah. I'm like, well, separating from my vessel isn't as bad as thinking about death, so I should feel pretty lucky. Yeah. No, I think it's just like stress and like emotional overwhelming that like puts me into that state. And yeah, it is hard to remind yourself, because like I've had those thoughts like since I've started working on the club. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, am I just out of my fucking mind? Like, what am I doing? And you know, you'll have little comments like the negative comments hit me more than the positive ones. So like when I hear stuff like that, I'm just like, well, what am I doing? Because like, you know, I am really early in.
Yeah.
So it is like, do you know what you're doing? I feel right about it, right? But it's like when those little like thoughts come in that you're just like, fuck, just get away. I just like, let me just do this, because I keep like I'm not ever going to backtrack. Obviously I'm on like, you know, full force ahead, but like my head, I just like, I think it's just like my old pattern of thinking. Yeah. Just of my failures of being like, oh, this is going to fail too. Yeah. So,
but also I think it's like it's with the nature of doing like what you're doing right now, it's like you're constantly there's new thresholds for you. And it's like you're constantly having to like figure shit out that you've never had to figure out before. And it's like that shit never ends. So, you know, it's as somebody who's like clearly like a fucking self-starter and you're going to figure it out at all costs. I think like that kind of shit's got to be like, I don't know that shit lets up. Yeah. I guess.
I think it's just who I am. Yeah. And I think I just have to accept it and not listen to other people. Yeah. Because I'm just like, I'm very like driven and hard on myself, and just like, and I think a lot all the time. When I'm not speaking, I'm thinking about everything in the world in my life in the next 40 years. I don't know why I'm like that, but I just do. So I think it's just, I think I keep trying to find a solution to the problem, but the problem is just how I am. Yeah. And it's just, it's not a problem. I just need to use it to a positive advantage as opposed to letting it get to me. You know?
I think that kind of attribute, like not having that, you probably wouldn't have the club you have now. Like having that's kind of like, you know, as much as it might seem like a curse, it's like, it's probably like the thing, like might be the thing that drives you the most.
Yeah, because some people have too much fear, which I feel like holds a lot of people back. Like my husband's not fearful, but when I first met him, like he's raised by a very like his mom's from Poland, so she came from there with nothing, you know, and she started real estate business from the ground up. Now she's very successful. Hence, she raised her son on the American dream. Like this is how, you know, so. When I first met him, he was very scared to do like things that were outside of that box. Like his first dream when I met him was to go to Japan. And I was like, why haven't you gone yet? You're 28 years old. And he's like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, he was like, it's pretty expensive. I'm like, I mean, yeah, but we could save up the money over the next few years and go. We ended up going like 3 years later. And I think like the fear can stop a lot of people from pursuing the things that they want. Yeah. And I find that actually sad. Like I feel sad for those people, because I want people to, every person I talk to, like I was just having a conversation the other day with somebody. I'm like, what do you want to do? And like, they'll start talking about their job. And I'm just like, well, no, what do you enjoy? Like, what do you like doing? Like, I just want people so bad to find what I found. And it sucks to see people sad and in these corporate jobs that they're not happy about, but they're these talented artists. Yeah. You know, I've got this one friend, she's so talented with drawing and like designing. She could design anything, somebody's logo, a wedding event, like she could draw like crazy. And, you know, she's, you know, sad because she's got to go to this nursing receptionist job that she doesn't like. And it's tough to see people that you love in a position like that, where you just want them to get what they want. Yeah. You know, and I feel that way about my husband too, because he just lost his job like 4 weeks ago. We worked the same company. And he was like, I think I'm going to go get another job. And I was like, no. I said, my income's enough to like pay our bills. We can't get anything extra, but we can pay the bills. I want you to stay home, work on your cars, do your YouTube.
Yeah.
Do the shit you want to do that makes you happy because I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard for some people to like push through that fear.
Yeah. And so one of the hardest aspects of it is it's like perceived security. And I know that's a way I felt for a long time with the last full-time job I had. Like, I thought that was a job I could have till I didn't want it anymore. And then one day they sent me and like a couple hundred other people an email. Wasn't specified what the Zoom meeting was going to be about. And it's just like, you guys are gone. And it's just like, holy fuck. Mm-hmm. So, it always feels like there's like this safety net of, whatever the 9 to 5 is, but it's like, it's across the board. It doesn't matter what industry or what kind of job it is. It's like they will not think twice about unloading you the second, it makes sense for you. It means a couple extra dollars, in their fucking pockets.
1,000%.
And it's. I needed to see that. Like at the time, it was like that happened. Like I think like 3 weeks before Christmas, and I was like freaking out. And I was like, dude, this is nuts. And it wasn't even like a lot of money. It was, I think. At that job, I made like $1,100 every 2 weeks. But at the time, it was like devastating because it's like, dude, this is like insane to do to people right before Christmas.
Yeah.
And it was just, that was like something that needed to happen to me in order to like kind of give me the push to eventually go out on my own.
Yeah.
And it was like, it wasn't apparent at the time. And it was like, I didn't really even get lost in thought as to what was possible outside of that because I was kind of happy keeping one foot in the working world and one foot in the creative world. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until that happened where I realized, like, I really need to kick it in a much higher gear now than I think I'm capable of.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's it's like what's the saying? 2 paths in the wooded forest or something? Or fork in the road. What is it? There's a thing that says a thing about that.
All right. Well, I like forks, yeah. But yeah, it's. I needed that to happen for it to get to like to eventually get to a point where like I felt like I can kind of do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it. Like there's so many times like if you ask like people like what do they want, they do start naming shit like it's relative to their job or it's like. There's so much more out there. Mm-hmm. You can kind of do what you want.
Yeah.
And you realize what by clearly defining what you want, it starts to become more apparent that it's attainable.
Yeah.
And there's so many times where like, I'll see guys that like, see guys on stage where it's just like, dude, you're so fucking funny. And it's like somebody who isn't clearly enjoying any of this. It's like, dude, what do you want? And then you talk to them. It's like, they don't know what they want. Mm-hmm. They're kind of just doing it because they think they should and they want to be successful. But it's like, what does your definition of success look like? And I think the more clear you are with what you truly want, the more fulfillment you'll find. And then also you'll find it's much easier to attain what you want than you probably think right now.
Yeah. But I'm also so insane that I think that everything that I say and think that I want, it will happen because I believe in that manifestation shit because it's already happened to me like multiple times. So I try to like, I try to realize the world and like, oh, I can make this whatever I want. Mm-hmm. Technically, like if the world's manipulative in my favor, like I got a little magic in my hands. I can, but it's true because like I mean I've had weird shit happen that I've said that happened 10 years later.
Dude, Alex,
like it's fucking weird, and I'm just like, oh, there's something to that.
I buy that shit too. There was just like I mentioned when we were coming in here, I was intent on getting my fucking 10,000 steps for the day, and while we're walking. I was like, fuck, I really want to book like some shows around Texas. I was like, I'm gonna book a Dallas show and a Houston show, and then I might go to Oklahoma City. As soon as I got in my house, like I had messaged a guy, I don't even know how long ago, about doing a show in Dallas, and it just so happened when I got back in the house, it was him offering a date to do it there. And it's like I truly believe that shit too. It's like I try to talk about what I want out loud as often as possible.
Yeah.
And relative to that, on my solo podcast, Getting Some Head, I started having like these goals. And
it is crazy just say that one word. I was on my solo. It sounds like you said I was on my solo podcast getting some head.
Yeah, it's like, dude, this podcast is the best.
I was like, damn.
Yeah, I don't make a fucking dollar, but it is heaven, man. But yeah, with that show, it's like I truly like learning about people, and like I wanted to interview people and like learn shit about them that I might not hear on other podcasts. But part of like how that's evolved is I know what I benefit from with clearly defining my shit and being able to speak about it. You know, it's like I know like I say it into a microphone and then like I put it out there and people listen to it. But I know not everybody like might, you know, people might feel constricted by who they can actually vocalize their goals for and like what they want out of life. So I wanted to like, it's important to me to provide like some kind of platform for that. So on the Getting Some Head Patreon, I started doing a goals and accountability Zoom group, and I've been doing it now for like 2 months. And it's so awesome to see people coming into these Zoom meetings, and we just talk about shit that we're working on, what we want to see happen in our lives, and what it's going to take to get there. And we usually have like 15 to 20 people on each Zoom meeting, and it's so awesome to hear people just express what they're working on, or just be like, I want this to happen, like I need this to happen in my life. And it's like you're probably much closer to that, you know, once you get it out of your head and just speak it out loud, whether it's like, you know, some mystical force doing it for you, or you just verbalizing it and being like, okay, that didn't hurt as bad as I thought it would, saying it out loud to strangers. Maybe I can like start to figure out steps to like achieve that shit. And then next thing you know, you're already taking steps to work on that thing happening for you. Yeah. And then going back to the Japan thing, it's like, all right, well, maybe if I save like $100 this month, in 2 months I might be able to, or 2 years I might be able to go to fucking Japan. Yeah. Whereas initially it's like, it seems like just
unattainable.
Yeah. So it feels nice to just not only say the shit out loud, but then also, you know, get around people who are going to help, who are going to be supportive, who are going to be kind, who are going to help foster whatever the thing is that you want to do. Yeah. Like for some people, it's you know, it's financially driven, or for some people, it's just about like attaining housing. Yeah. So it's like whatever your thing is, like being in a group. Saying it out loud, I think, does wonders. And then also, like, saying it out loud and being in a group where you feel comfortable talking about that shit, it's more motivating than just keeping it in your head and thinking that, I don't know, maybe it'll materialize, maybe it won't. But I think saying it out loud is going to do fucking wonders toward, like, expediting the process.
No, it's true. And then also, I think the collective consciousness thing, like, when people start believing you about the things you're saying, that also, I feel like, helps. Yeah. Because they're putting those thoughts out into whatever, you know, is going on. And
I buy into that 100%.
Yeah. I had my first boyfriend when I was 16. He showed me that documentary. What was it called? It was about The Secret. Yeah. Yeah, his family was super into it, and the first time I watched that, it just changed my life. And I didn't realize it until I got older and realized the things I really started, you know, wanting, and like the club shit. I was telling people I was going to open a club before I even had the money. Yeah. And I got the money a week later. Yeah. It was just like when people believe in you and you believe in yourself, like that shit just rolls.
I think so too. Yeah. And there's, you know, and it's, if people have a hard time buying into, like, you know, the manifestation aspect of it, I think it's, you know, just say it just to kind of get the ball rolling on the work that you're going to do to make it happen. So it's like,
just materialize. I don't know where you still put the work.
Yeah. And it's, you know, I had a conversation with my buddy Pat one time, and we were talking about shit relative to this. And he's like, yeah, I guess I could be, you know, a fucking downer and not think that there's something providing this shit for me. He's like, but I want to believe that there's some magic in the fucking world. And it's like, yeah, I'm a fucking magic guy too. It's like, I don't want to believe that A plus B equals C. It's like, I do believe that, but at the same time, I like feeling as though, like, you know, there's shit like conspiring on my behalf. Yeah. And that, you know, there's something out there which I might not be able to comprehend right now, but it's kind of like orchestrating shit so that it benefits me.
Yeah, it falls into place. Yeah. No, definitely. I can't imagine the possibilities. Like, if people could think beyond, like, really, like, what they want their whole lives to look like,
Yeah.
how possible it would be to achieve every single one of those things. And I really think it is.
Man.
But it's cool to see it happen. I mean, I've seen it not just with myself, with other people, with my husband, and I'm just like, holy shit.
And it becomes more apparent, I think, when you start expressing gratitude and making gratitude lists and just starting to take stock of like everything good in your life.
Yes, very true. I when I started comedy and started like, like I was saying, come back to God, every day, at least one time when I'm alone, I say thank you for keeping my family healthy. Thank you for giving me a house, like the basic shit that like I usually look past every so often. I'm just like, oh, like I'm living in a house. Like I didn't have
I know it. It's
none
like
of this,
like doing things like that. It makes all the difference, especially on days where you just don't fucking have it, and you're just. I know, like when I feel at my most depressed, a part of that is going to be because I'm self-absorbed, and if the way to get away from that self-absorption is to just think about like, all right, what is something that's fucking going good right now? And it's like, all right, it's hot outside. It's like, I like when it's fucking hot outside. So at the very least, I got that.
Yeah.
And if that's the only thing that I have good from today, I at least need to acknowledge that to just not feel so fucking doom and gloomy.
Yeah, because it is all internal thoughts and feelings that we technically can control. It's just our perspective of thinking in that moment. And like I'm a very emotionally reactive person, which is why I smoke a lot of weed, because it just helps me like not be a cunt. Because I'm a fucking bitch otherwise. Take out the garbage. No, like 10 times. No, see, every time I divert, I forget where I'm going. I'm a cunt. That's what I was going to say.
That needs to be your merch.
Yeah, but I fucking cunt weed. See, this is what happens when I don't smoke. I have no train of thought. But anyways, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I was going to say. I always have something and then it goes away. Yeah. This is actually just your solo podcast. We'll just cut out. We'll cut out this whole part and just be him. Yeah. No, I mean, we've been here for a while. We can wrap it up.
All right. I really had a blast doing this.
Yeah, no, thank you.
You're an easy person to root for.
Oh,
and, I loved like getting to come to your club and I can't wait to fucking come back. But just know you have everything dialed in. Everything there for it to be a success long term is there. Just keep doing what you're doing. And aside from that, no doubt you're going to make it even better than what it is right now, which is leaps and bounds ahead of what anybody else is doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You got any like dates or anything you want to show?
Yeah, you can check out all my dates. What, that camera, Justin? Cool. All my dates are at my social media profiles, which are all at Mike Rainey 82. I'm going to be in Boston, LA, Chicago, Janesville, Wisconsin. I'm going to be in Dallas this summer as well. So you can check out all those dates at the social media profiles. And also check out my website, onperks.com. I got all my books there. I do custom podcasts, so if you want to shoot the shit, I'm happy to do that with you. And then finally, check out the patreon.com/gettinsomhead. If you want to join me on the goals and accountability groups, I'm doing at least one a week. Some weeks I've done two. And I promise you, like, this is a place where you can come talk about anything you want to get off your chest, and specifically like shit that you're working on. It's a nice environment. You're going to find people willing to help you, willing to support you, and it's at the very least something positive to look forward to each week.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
You're the best, Alex.
Appreciate you coming.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's fun.
She keep working that back and I'm about to throw the shit like